What a day it has been, with weather shaking things up all across the country, from heavy downpours to tornado watches today in at least 8 states, and there's at least 1 tornado reported in Illinois.
As for us here in the Triad, a live look at radar, and you do see some showers popping up here and there, much like what we saw yesterday. Good evening. Thunderstorms, heavy rain, gusty winds, even hail, all are possible for parts of our area tonight.
So, Grant, with some states seeing their first tornadoes, severe weather season has definitely arrived.
Yeah, it's here without a doubt. In fact, 4 tornado watches in effect right now across the country and 4 severe thunderstorm watches in effect. Locally, no watches. In fact, no warnings in effect now either. We did just have a severe thunderstorm warning expire for Lee and Chatham County, where we had some 58-mile-per-hour winds and hail the size of quarters out there, so damaging winds and hail for sure. That cluster of storms now advancing to the north and east. We still have some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms moving through Randolph County into extreme southern Alamance County. Also some strong storms moving into western Yadkin County into southern Surrey County. These storms producing some frequent lightning, though that is weakening. Heavier rainfall and maybe some very small hail possible. We'll keep that chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area as we head into this evening, though I am expecting a lot of this activity to move to the east and begin to weaken as we head into the overnight hours. So I'm not anticipating a rude awakening around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning from some frequent lightning out there. Here's the plan with your planning forecast as we take you overnight tonight. That best chance of showers and storms will be through around 7 or 8 o'clock. Still a 20 to 30% chance of a few isolated showers as we go into the overnight. Temperatures remaining mild tonight. We'll see again that 30% chance of a couple of rogue storms into tomorrow morning. I don't think that's going to be producing the frequent lightning like what we saw last night. Low temperatures tonight in the mid and low 60s, but tomorrow a cold front swings through. That could bring us some more severe weather. We'll get into that forecast in just a little bit.
Painful memories of storms past and a sad example of just how powerful these storms can be.
It took only 1 lightning strike to destroy this family's home. Now, 2 years later, they have rebuilt. And as WFMY News 2's Ben Powell reports, there were lessons learned from the storm. Ben.
The problem with lightning is you never know when or where it's going to strike. It's a situation where it's painful for anyone who ever has to go through this, and perhaps nobody knows the pain more than Ethel Brown.
The storm was brewing up, and I decided to lay across the bed, which I did, and then later on I heard this big thunder.
Ethel Brown will never forget what happened on May 23rd, 2013.
And then all of a sudden I heard a big kaboom.
Lightning struck her home on East Sedgefield Drive in Winston-Salem.
And I said, oh, Lord, my house burning.
Brown made it out just in time.
I got out by the grace of God in time, and I thank him for it each and every day. Like they say, you walk through the fire. I walked through the fire that night.
2 years later, her spirit is still shaken.
When I hear that thunder, you know, you feel uneasy. But what can you do?
Firefighters say there's a lot you can do to protect yourself and your home during severe weather.
Make sure you've got a fire extinguisher with you. Make sure that you don't let the fire get between you and the exits. Make sure that, you know, if there's a lot of smoke, get out.
Looking back at pictures of her old house, Brown is still heartbroken over everything she lost.
It was terrible to see all your personal things, your clothing, everything just gone before your eyes. But, you know, you can rebuild and you can put your life back together.
Miss Brown says the smoke detectors that she had inside her home are what saved her life.
All right, so getting a little more in depth here, there are 3 ways lightning enters houses and buildings. So one of these 3 can happen to any of us. One, it could be from a direct strike, such as a lightning bolt that hits a part of the home. Well, you probably don't think about this possibility. Number 2, it can also happen through wires or pipes near your house or a building. The third way is through the ground, something to keep in mind no matter how it happens. Once lightning hits a structure, it can travel through the electrical systems, metal wires, even the metal bars inside concrete walls or flooring.
While many of you woke up to the lightning and the thunder, it was not severe weather. There are certain things that have to happen before weather conditions can be considered severe. So to help us get a better understanding, Grant is breaking it down for us.
Yeah, certainly an intense storm and a very electric storm that we saw earlier on this morning. But it didn't meet the criteria for the National Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. With thunderstorms, you'll have wind, hail, possibly, tornadoes, possibly, and even a lot of lightning like what we saw earlier on this morning. But the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued, or for a thunderstorm to be considered severe, is you have to have 58-mile-per-hour winds or stronger. We didn't have that last night. In fact, we didn't have a lot of wind with those storms. The hail has to be at least 1 inch in diameter. Yesterday, we had around dime-size hail, so a 1/4 inch would be dictating a severe thunderstorm warning. The possibility of a tornado would concern us for a severe thunderstorm warning. Lightning, though, is not one of those criteria, so you can have all the lightning in the world with the thunderstorm, but there won't be a warning. But typically, when you get a lot of lightning, you will have hail and wind. It's just a question of, are they strong enough?
Wow, learn something new every day. Grant, thank you. Well, new tonight, an arrest in a 4-year-old cold case. Police have charged Cornelius Tucker Jr. in the murder of Connie Hall. Hall's family reported her missing in November of 2011. A week later, her body was found in a trash can in Winston-Salem. Police say she was stabbed to death. A motive has not yet been released. Tucker is currently being held in the Forsyth County Jail without bond.
We're following a developing story in Trinity where students were forced out of Wheatmore High School after a fire in the locker room. The call came in just after 3 o'clock. Firefighters say some uniforms were on fire, and a coach managed to quickly put that out. Students, however, were evacuated. Right now, firefighters are not saying exactly how that fire began. Well, new tonight, the city of Greensboro has hired a law firm to fight a proposed restructuring of the city council, and this has been a highly debated idea. The firm will help the city come up with a strategy should their fight head to the courtroom, and the firm has hired a lobbyist for the city as well. If passed, Senate Bill 36 would make the city council smaller, get rid of at-large seats, and redraw lines to create 7 districts. It would also leave Mayor Nancy Vaughn without a vote, except to break a tie vote. We've learned more tonight about Michael Slager, the officer now charged with murder after shooting Walter Scott several times as he ran away. This is in North Charleston, South Carolina. And in his 5 years as an officer there, Slager has had at least 2 other complaints filed against him. One was for excessive force after Slager tased a man in 2013. Mario Given says Slager ordered him to come out of his house with his hands up or he would tase him. Given says he did exactly what Slager ordered him to do, and he still got tased. Right now, Slager is being held without bond, and a site to raise money for him has been shut down. A representative for GoFundMe says the account violated the company's terms and conditions, and that's why the account was closed. The company would not go into any specifics.
New tonight, Walgreens is moving forward with a plan to close 200 stores across the country. It's part of a $1 billion cost-cutting strategy announced last August. The company has not yet decided which stores will close, but all the affected stores will be closed by the end of 2017. A developing story out of Alamance County. In God we trust. 4 words that we see almost every day, but we might not realize it.
Yeah, it's in the money that we spend and use every day. And soon you can see it in a lot more places, possibly. 2 Wants to Know's Chad Silber found out where you could soon find this phrase and how people are reacting to this.
Frank and Julie, just this week, Alamance County Commissioners approved adding "In God We Trust" to 3 government buildings. Here's what they might look like. The first is at the Alamance County Administration Building in Graham. Here it is right here. The second one is the Criminal Courts Building. Now, the county manager tells me that these are just ideas and they could be altered. Finally, here's the rendering inside the county commissioners' meeting room in the city of Graham. You can see it right here. Now, this movement started in Davidson County. Back in 2002, the county voted to add the phrase to its government building. The ACLU tried to stop it, but a district court and court of appeals upheld the move. Then the U.S. Supreme Court rejected the appeal, giving Davidson County the green light.
There are some that say that it's a religious thing. We didn't approach it from that. We approached it because it's a national motto.
Now, that was Fred McClure of the U.S. Motto Action Committee based in Davidson County. The group formed after the county's legal battle. Since then, the Action Committee has made it its mission to spread the idea.
As the word gets out, counties and cities are asking about it, and as they ask about it, we try to get on their agenda, tell them a little bit about it, and then get it done.
Now, this idea is getting a lot of attention on our Facebook page. Toya says separation of church and state was an idea from those folks. People called founding fathers for a reason. State buildings should be free of all religious symbols. Mitzi says God was and is the cornerstone of which our country was founded, and the Bible is what our legal system was founded. And Mary says the separation of church and state is about the state forcing religion on the public. Words are not a religion. No problem here. No word yet on when "In God We Trust" will be added to Alamance County buildings. Committee members hope to add the phrase to all government buildings throughout the state.
So these additions will be completely paid for by private donations.
All right, and an enhanced threat for severe weather ongoing through portions of the Midwest. That's along a cold front. That cold front will be moving through the Carolinas tomorrow. It brings us a slight chance for severe weather. We'll break down that forecast coming right up.
And it's making a big splash and bringing in big money. The inside scoop on the Greensboro Aquatic Center. Voters paid for it. Now, just how successful is it? We're diving into the numbers next.